Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the SteepleCast. I am Corey Stolzenbach, joined now by my successor in the broadcast booth, Jake Levy. And Jake, gotta love what the SteepleCats doing the last couple of games. It was a tough loss against the Blue Sox in Holyoke on Friday. They were up in the late innings, and they lost that. That was really tough on Saturday. They had some errors that led to unearned runs. They lost 9-2. But ever since then, these last two games, on Sunday, they were great against Laconia. They won 13-4. They have an 11-8 record going into the month of July. 30 hits in the last two games, 20 hits against the Muskrats, 10 against the Mountaineers. They also scored 20 runs in those last two games as well. They won Monday night 7-3 against Vermont. I know there are a lot of critics, Jake, who say that the SteepleCats are getting by with their pitching, and they say the hitting could be better. Where are those critics now, Jake?
Well, I don't believe there are any critics about this SteepleCat lineup. I think that this team has done a great job of manufacturing runs when the hits weren't coming. Now that the hits are coming, I think this team is really showing what it can do when it fires on all cylinders. This team, despite coming into play yesterday with a .226 batting average, led the league in runs. They had scored 94, which was one more than the second-place team. They led the league in walks, and you saw right away Hunter Lee led off the game yesterday with a walk. They just find a way to get on base, and of course yesterday they took advantage of those three errors by the Mountaineers. But that's also on the offense to make them pay. It was that ninth inning where they really exploded after the error out in center field by Lauren Eustace, that dropped routine fly ball. They rattle off 4 hits in their next 5 batters with a walk in between. So once they had that opening, they took it. It's really just about capitalizing off the mistakes, and now that the hits are starting to come, I mean, this team is just downright scary at the plate.
And you're absolutely correct. It's one thing to be given an error. It's another thing to take advantage and capitalize on those errors, and you are so correct about that. And what I really love about this offense, Jake, there has been variety over the last two games. On Sunday, you have Hunter Lee. He was 3 for 5 with an RBI. Rob Calabrese, he was 4 for 5 with 2 ribbies. Jim Haley was 3 for 5 with 3 ribbies and a run scored. And I talked to Jim Haley on Sunday, and he said there's a change in attitude with this team. They're arriving to the ballpark early. They're putting in extra effort. That's what I really like about this team, is that they're really committed to winning. And how about on Monday, Joe Burns looking like his old self, the way he started so hot to the season. He was 3 for 4, 2 runs scored with an RBI, and I love that. I love that different players are contributing and coming through. They're coming through very big on given nights. There's a change in attitude. The chemistry is starting to come to form. Like Joe Burns said when I talked to him on Monday, they're really hanging out a lot together. They're getting along great. Talked to Josh Guerin, who was great on Monday. He said they're the most talented group of guys he's ever played with, and he played in the Perfect Game League for 2 years. Now he's in the NECBL, and they're doing great. I love it. They're coming in early, do extra work, and really, Jake, the results are really showing. They're improving great.
Yeah, you mentioned Joe Burns. It's funny how streaky he was to start the year. He started the game on a 7-game hitting streak, then went hitless for his next 7 games, and now the last 3 since I've been here, he's got at least 1 hit in all 3 of those games. So he's really, come out of nowhere. Well, 3 of the 4, I should say. But he's really come out of nowhere and just responded well. And these guys have been in the cage. I'll tell you, Corey, it was a rainy, miserable day on Sunday. It was pouring rain in the early afternoon, and still there was a line out the batting cage door here at Joe Wolfe. These guys were all there, all getting ready to hit, all trying to get better. And that's one thing that Mike Armstrong preaches. He wants these guys here early. He wants these guys working hard, and they really have been, and it's really paying off now as the hits start coming.
And I love that, too, because I talked to Armstrong on Monday, and I talked to him on Sunday. And you know what, Jake? Another thing, too, that was a big factor in that loss to Vermont on Saturday was the fact they committed 3 errors, the SteepleCats did. That led to a lot of unearned runs. They committed 2 against Laconia on Sunday, and not a single error was committed on Monday in Vermont. And I think that was a huge difference. And like Armstrong said when I talked to him on Monday, he said that errors are full of momentum. They could swing momentum towards the other way if they could.
Oh, there's no doubt. You saw it yesterday to a T. Adam Stibert came in for Vermont, and he mowed down the first 7 batters he faced. And then he got Joe Burns to fly out to center field with 1 out in the 9th. It's a 3-1 game at that point. Byron Eustace, can of corn fly ball in center field, just drops it. And all of a sudden there's a runner at second with 1 away. It's the first time Stibert has to go to the stretch. and the next three guys pick up singles and a walk, and then that big two-run double by Victor Sorrento, and they blow the game open, and that was all she wrote. I mean, they gave up the two-run home run in the bottom of the ninth, but that was a totally different complexion, with Leithart just coming in trying to lay one over and get out of there. So the error definitely swung the momentum in that ninth inning, and it got the SteepleCats fired up, put Seibert in a place he didn't want to be, throwing from the stretch, got him out of his rhythm, and the SteepleCats took advantage of that momentum to run away with it.
Yes, they sure did, but Jake, also keep in mind, if Danny Bermudez hits that ball out of the yard just 1 inning earlier, we have a tie ball game on our hands. That could have changed the entire dynamic of the game right there.
Yeah, Courtney, you've talked to Jonah Bayless, the SteepleCats GM and pitching coach, quite a bit, and his favorite word is attack, right? He wants to throw at these hitters. He wants to attack the strike zone, and when you have a 6-run lead, you're not doing anything but throwing a hittable pitch. I think we talked about it on the broadcast last night, Joe Hutter and I, that I don't think Danny Bermudez gets that cookie right down the heart of the plate in a 2-run game. But with the way the game was shaped out, now with 2 outs and a runner at first, with a 6-run cushion, you throw one in, see if he'll roll over on it. He had been 1 for his last 16 coming into play yesterday. He wound up 2 for 4 with a double and a 2-run home run, but that's one of the ones you live with if you're Leithart. You're just trying to get out of there. The last thing you want to do is start walking a bunch of guys. He had walked the previous hitter, so he was just trying to shore up and throw some strikes, and, that's happened sometimes.
It does happen, but I also talked to Jonah Bayless about that, and I asked him, hey, are they a little more easygoing when they have more of a cushion? Are the pitchers in the ninth inning when they got that cushion? He said that he doesn't know for sure, but he said that we try to teach him in that situation to treat it like any other, whether it's a close game or a blowout.
Well, I think you can try to simulate that close and same situation as much as you want, but these guys know the score when they go out there, and I'm sure nobody wants to go out there with the designs of giving up a 2-run home run, but it's the back half of the lineup, and the guy just made a mistake, left one down the middle, and Bermudez made him pay. That Vermont field is sneaky short down the line. It's only 311 down the right field line and 307 down the left field line, and Bermudez was able to go the other way with it and put it over that left field line. So even though it's very deep in center and the alleys play deep out there are some spots in Vermont's ballpark that you get a piece of it and angle it the right way, you can hit one out. We saw one a couple of days ago as well, the home run by Laren Eustace, the solo shot that just cleared over the right field wall. So if you hit it down the lines there, you hit it hard enough that obviously you're going to send it out.
And Bermudez had a very good game on Monday. In fact, I talked to Josh Guerin about this, the winning pitcher on Monday, and he actually took a no-hitter into the 5th inning. He said he didn't even know about that. What great back-to-back outings from Matt Costellos and Josh Guerin, Jake. Each of them only allowed 1 run over 7 innings of work. Jonah Bayless has these guys in form. Like you say, he's preaching to them to attack the strike zone, make those pitches when necessary. And the fact that Josh Guerin didn't even know about that really shows you how committed these guys are to winning.
Yeah, it's all about going to the next batter. And I'll tell you, Corey, Josh Guerin, his curveball last night was sensational. He was locating it very well, and once he figured out the strike zone for Bruce James, it was a little bit off the dead center of the plate, and Guerin at first was missing. He thought were strikes. Could have gotten frustrated, but instead he got together with Rob Calabrese, and they found the strike zone. And once Guerin started locating that curveball in the right spot, going to the inside part of the plate, the right-handed hitters, boy, was he nearly impossible to get a piece of. He threw 4 strikeouts, brings him up to 30 for the year, which ties him for the league lead in strikeouts. 1 run, a couple of walks. He walked 1 in each of the first 2 innings and didn't walk another batter over his next 5, and just gave up 4 hits, the couple of doubles, and the 1 RBI single to Nick Rupert that literally, with Joe Burns playing on the infield grass, it was a line drive that maybe clipped the top of his glove on the way into left field. He was that close to getting out of it. And the double before that was a duck snort off the bat of Laren Eustace, just died right in shallow right center or right field, right down the line in front of Michael Babb at the time. So just a little bit of misfortune there in that 6th inning, but really he pitched very, very well through all 7.
He absolutely did. Before we go to break, time now for an alumni update. Evan Scribner has not allowed a run in his last 5 appearances. The last run he gave up was June 16th against the San Diego Padres. He most recently pitched an inning and a third scoreless innings of relief against the Royals, and then an inning of a third in 2 games over the weekend. Joe Smith of the Angels pitched scoreless work of relief. He recorded a strikeout, gave up just 1 hit against the Mariners. So, Jake, good to see SteepleCats alumni doing well in the bigs. It can be done. It has been done. And you really have to wonder how many current SteepleCats right now on the roster are future major leaguers. Well, we're going to take a break right now on the SteepleCast. Coming up, I'll sit down with Bernie Carbo and talk to him and his experience throwing out the first pitch and spending the day at Joe Wolfe Field on Sunday. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the SteepleCast. Welcome back, everyone, to the SteepleCast. I am Corey Stolzenbach. This past Sunday was promoting the 1975 Boston Red Sox, the 40th anniversary of their trip to the World Series. On that team was Bernie Carbo, a man who hit a game-tying home run, 3-run shot in Game 6 of the 1975 World Series. Carlton Fisk eventually won it with a walk-off shot off of Pat Darcy. And Bernie Carbo is joining me right now. He threw out the first pitch and visited Joe Wolfe Field. And Bernie, the SteepleCats won 13-4 over the Laconia Muskrats. You must have been their good luck charm that day.
Well, I tell you what, they scored 9 runs in 2 innings, and it was fantastic. It was a great crowd, even though it was raining, a little chilly, but we gave out pictures and sold my book called Saving Bernie Carbo, which you can go to BernieCarbo.com or and pick up the webpage and read about what we're doing. But it was a great day for baseball. It was a fantastic time. We were treated really well. College baseball is at its best, and you get to see these young players, future players. Over 90 players in that area has gone on to sign and play professional baseball in some manner, from minor leagues to the big leagues. And it's $5 a game, and I really like it. It's enjoyable. Every time they hit a double, it's double bubble gum. So I got to chew up a lot of bubble gum as they hit a lot of doubles. I got a chance to be on the radio, signing autographs, so I really enjoyed myself. It was fantastic. It was a great game, and it was good to see them win, but treated really well. The ownership, the league president, from the players. Sunday, so I also had an opportunity to do chapel and give the players, give the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ. So I did chapel, which was really exciting. I was really happy about that. Talked to a lot of the players. It was an enjoyable time. My wife and I, beautiful scenery coming up from Chelmsford. We went on Highway 2. And Highway 2 is, if no one's really gone Highway 2 along the river, it's a beautiful, the city's beautiful. North Adam is gorgeous, and really enjoyed ourselves. We had a great time.
I know you've been very busy lately. You've been making many appearances around the Massachusetts area. You're signing autographs. You're throwing out the first pitch for many games. You're celebrating what happened 40 years ago. Just what specifically was it about North Adams and Joe Wolfe Field that made it so unique for you that you won't forget this experience anytime soon?
Well, one of the things that it's a real small ballpark. It's a great hitter's ballpark, but I got to sign my name with a number of great ball players. They have where the concessions, they have a doorway that players who have gone there sign autographs. So there's a number of ball players. I know one of them was Louis Tion that signed it, and I got the opportunity to do that. But the fans were great. It was really a nice welcome. It's amazing to me, 40 years ago, I hit a home run when I was lost into the world, that God is being able to use this for the glory of God. But, it's amazing to me how young people, they don't remember Bernie Carbo, but their grandparents do. And people about 45 to 55 years of age were able to stay up that late at night. I hit my home run on the 21st, right before midnight. Carlton Fisk hit his after midnight. So it's amazing to me, older people especially. The game itself, the fans in Major League Baseball, the age is 55 years older. When you go to these college games, the minor league games, you're seeing young kids enjoying the game of baseball, being able to watch the ballpark.
a lot of different things they can do and a lot of activities, and the price is perfect, $5 to $7 to come watch a game. So I had a good time enjoying it. The best fun I had was being able to get on the radio and do a half an inning, and that was fun. So I really did enjoy myself.
When I tell you that it's been 40 years since that pennant-winning season, what's your reaction to that?
Well, I tell you what, it was one of the greatest games ever played. Game 6 of the 75 World Series by Major League Baseball was picked as the greatest game ever. And also Sporting News picked it as one of the greatest games. And when you look at the Cincinnati Reds' Big Red Machine, I played with those guys. You had Pete Rose at third, David Concepcion at short, Joe Morgan, Hall of Famer, Tony Perez at first base, Hall of Famer, and then you also had Johnny Bench catching. Now, in our outfield, we were without Jimmy Rice, and we had Freddie Lynn, Dwight Evans, who I believe should be in the Hall of Fame, both of them. Jimmy Rice was missing, but we had Carl Yastrzemski. I was playing a little bit of left. We had Rick Brosen and Denny Doyle up the middle, Rico Petrocelli, Carlton Fisk, which is a Hall of Famer, Bill Lee, and Louis Keon pitching. Two great teams. It was a fantastic opportunity. Just a few, I think it was May 5th, we all got together to celebrate the 40-year reunion and really enjoyed ourselves and had a great time. Boston Red Sox Nation celebrated us guys coming in and showed us a great time. So it's amazing how fast life is. It's like vapor, and it's so important to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And that's what my Diamond Club ministry is about. Talking about the greatest game, teaching the greatest game, being around the greatest game, and telling the greatest story ever.
My last question to you, Bernie, is I saw a picture of you talking to the players before the game. How did you receive them? What was your perception of the players as you talked to them?
I think they're open. One of the things I try to do is I try to encourage them. And one of my things is, if your mother works, she's working 8 hours a day. If your dad's working, he may be working 2 jobs, but he's working 8 to 10 hours a day. I just say you have to be a baseball rat, and that means you have to be at the ballpark early. You work hard, and you take care of yourself. You project yourself to be a Hall of Famer and believe in Jesus Christ. Give God the glory and understand that baseball is one of the great games. It's in the moment of time that you have to prepare yourself to work hard and to be the best you can and set goals for yourself. So I think they were encouraged by my words. I also thought they listened very carefully. So it was a great opportunity to reach out to these young people. I think that there's a lot of times when I look back at my career, and I'm 67, I can't go back. I got caught up in the drugs and the alcohol and that type of life and didn't prepare myself and didn't really work as hard as I could have worked to be a Hall of Famer. And that's what I try to encourage these kids to do, is take care of their bodies, make good choices. Don't listen to their own reasoning, but listen to the truth. And the truth comes in the Word of God, and listening to the Word and understanding the Word of God by reading your Bible and having a Bible study, and just encouraging them to understand that they're going to fail more times than not as a hitter. So it was a lot of fun to be able to talk to them, sign autographs, and it was a wonderful day. I really appreciate everybody there, the ownership, the management, the general manager and players and everybody. I really enjoyed myself. I like to thank everybody for having the opportunity to be there.
Well, Bernie Carbo, we were very grateful that you were there at Joe Wolfe Field on Sunday. And thank you to the listeners for listening to another edition of the SteepleCast. For Bernie Carbo, this is Corey Stolzenbach. Have a nice day, everybody.